The last budget you're going to have to make is your new life seed money, because once you show up to a new country and you want to settle down, you're going to have to spend some money. If you want to buy either a car or a motorbike, you're going to have to spend some money, and there are no financing for foreigners a lot of times, so you will have to pay cash. In countries like Thailand, if you want to have a foreign car like a BMW or Mercedes, the tariffs here are quite high, so you might pay literally twice as much money for exactly the same car as you had in your home country. Be ready for that. Your healthcare plan, and we'll talk about it a little bit later in the course, a lot of times you have to pay 1 year ahead. That's probably going to be thousands of dollars as well. Make a budget for that. Your apartment lease, if you're going to come in and get a 6 or 12 months lease, you're a foreigner with no credit history who can leave at any time, a lot of times that security deposit will be quite hefty, or you will be required to prepay your entire 6-month lease ahead of time. You got to have a budget for that too. There are many other expenses, as you can imagine. Essentially, think about it as moving while losing your entire set of possessions in a flood or fire. You might have to get new furniture, you might have to get a new phone, you might have to get a new set of clothes. You know, my warm jackets and my suits are no good here in 100+ degree weather. All of this adds up to a pretty penny. In my case, the biggest expense that I had to splurge on was my 5-year visa. It is not cheap, and I knew about that. However, as many of us here, I am qualified for some of the tax breaks. So what I am saving in my taxes over the next 1, 2, 3 years essentially is my budget for my new life seed money. Not everyone's going to have that luxury, but it is important to know and at least estimate as much as possible what these expenses are going to be. And please understand that you're unlikely to get any type of big payments spread out over a 6 or 12 months period like you have in your home country for where you live, for what you drive, and so forth and so forth. So be prepared for that. But as always, the key is research, budgeting, and math. And I know nobody likes to do math, but this is one of those times when you have to. So at the end of this section, you should have a bunch of numbers, bunch of budgets, and then of course, and feel free to use a calculator for this one, the total. Now, the total is a dangerous thing because you can say, okay, well, listen, I thought of everything I could. And of course, we will revisit this once you actually start picking the country and pick the country where you're going to be living in. But at the same time, I would add 20 to 30% to that number on top of that for unexpected expenses. You're going to be in a new country, and I guarantee you that no matter how diligent you're going to go through this process, and this is, as you know, I guarantee you this, the most comprehensive guide on how to not screw up. There will be unprecedented and unexpected expenses that I would say budget for ahead of time, even though you won't know what they are. So making a budget and making sure that you can afford this is very important. I have seen people who showed up here, whether completely out of money or they run out of money within a few months. And guess what? You got to go back. And that's the last thing I want to happen, is you're finding the new life just to realize it's going to be taken away from you because you didn't do math. So do the math.